This program may include strong opinions, sensitive subjects, or discussions about controversial community issues. The creators accept no responsibility for actions taken or conclusions drawn by anyone based on this content. By continuing to listen, read, or view, you acknowledge and accept these terms.
A bomber clot in Canada. I feel me this. All while them clown they are coming and going like them a defend Canada. And we don't know them. All you know black reaction, I love black reaction, push your hand out of here. Black reaction, you don't.
Right, and Toronto's always been a hub for underground music, so maybe it's this combination, right? The city's character, its diverse people, and this dedicated community of iconic investors who shaped the sound.
I think you're onto something, and remember, we're talking about a time before the internet, before social media. The blog really stresses the importance of physical spaces, basements, community halls, even parking lots. These are the places where these sound systems would set up, creating these incredible immersive experiences.
So it's like this underground movement built on word of mouth, shared passion, and these totally unique sound systems. That's fascinating. But we can't talk about sound systems without talking about the people behind them, can we?
Oh, absolutely not. The blog gives shout-outs to DJs, MCs, selectors, all vital parts of sound system culture.
A bomber clot in Canada. I feel me this. All while them clown they are coming and going like them a defend Canada. And we don't know them. All you know black reaction, I love black reaction, push your hand out of here.
Toronto Reggae, the struggle for mainstream recognition.
So a bomber clot, a long time them a fight the thing, but I can't stop the thing.
So big kudos to the whole OVO team, and of course, longtime fan Drake, who gives Vibes a heartfelt welcome and also performs a few of his own hits.
This is finally a man getting the flowers and love that he deserves. And welcome home. We love you. We're so grateful to have you.
Backstage, Vibes and Drake celebrate the sold-out show, taking a moment to pose with their own matching OVO chains.
Hey, I was sick. That was a dream. I carried you. Me too. That was a dream. Keep the left on. I remember that. Now we just need to win game 3 and it's over.
Vibes sits down with the Toronto Star and confirms that he and Drake are working on new music with a third artist. Now, Vibes doesn't name names, but the internet thinks it could be someone Drake's already collaborated with. Whoever it is, it's going.
There's a perceived misguided representation of reggae in mainstream Canada, where hip-hop artists like Cardinal Offishall and Drake are often celebrated internationally or treated as reggae representatives, despite not being truly rooted in the reggae community. This is considered whack and perplexing by the sources, as these artists' contributions are arguably less substantial to the reggae scene than those of true reggae pioneers. This overshadows authentic talents and Toronto-rooted representatives worldwide, who have proudly represented Toronto's reggae sound system culture globally for decades. The sources express perplexity and frustration that these true architects and cultural leaders haven't received the same recognition given their immense contributions and dedication to their craft, driven by passion rather than fame.
They just don't get that same level of acknowledgement.
Let's talk about Ron Nelson specifically for a second. Our sources mention he's often pegged as a hip-hop figure, which seems really off, given his reggae roots. Why does that happen?
It is really surprising, and it's a perfect, kind of sad example of this misrepresentation. Ron Nelson was an absolute giant, a pioneer in reggae radio in Toronto during the 1980s and 1990s.
Okay.
He hosted these incredibly influential shows, tirelessly uplifting reggae culture for decades. He introduced countless people to the music, and he was instrumental in pioneering and popularizing sound clashes, those competitive battles between sound systems we talked about.
Yeah.
Hugely important for the scene's energy.
Right, the clashes were vital.
Absolutely. Yet despite all this deep reggae work, his legacy often gets filtered through his later connections to hip-hop, which overshadows his immense foundational reggae contributions. It's a real disservice.
Definitely. And King Turbo sound system, we keep coming back to the importance of the sound systems. What's their specific legacy? Why are they so key?
King Turbo, founded back in '89. They were just playing records. They were cultivating a whole culture. They played a significant role in promoting reggae music, especially through their legendary skills in battles in these intense global sound clash competitions.
And they were good.
Good. They are world class. They're not just local heroes. They are a multi-time world championship winning sound system.
Yeah.
They took Toronto's reggae sound and proved its power on the biggest international stages.
Wow. World champions from Toronto.
Yeah. Their technical skill, their music selection, their showmanship legendary. They really shaped the sound and influence of Toronto reggae, blending authentic Jamaican roots with Toronto's unique vibe. But again, despite these massive global achievements, do they get the mainstream recognition they deserve? Often not.
It's a pattern.
Yeah.
Beyond those big names, Ron Nelson, King Turbo, Linda P., who else should we know? Who are some other crucial figures who built the scene but maybe don't get enough shine? Let's give them their flowers now.
Oh, there are so many. Our sources mention Specs, the reggae ambassador. He wasn't just a DJ. He was an advocate, an educator, helping popularize reggae through his dynamic shows, acting as this vital cultural bridge when mainstream doors were shut.
Okay.
Then there's Newbie of Rebel Tone Sound System. Huge achievement. He won the World Clash in 2002. That was historic for a Canadian sound system, beating Jamaican giants. Real underdog victory brought massive respect to Toronto.
Incredible. Who else?
You've got Musclehead from the Two Line Music Hut. We mentioned the store. It was a lifeline for fans hunting down authentic reggae. But he also hosts an influential podcast interviewing reggae legends, still building awareness today.
Keeping the history alive.
Exactly. And don't forget Dave Brown. He's this incredibly dedicated collector of reggae cassettes. He's literally preserving chunks of Toronto's reggae history through his massive personal archive. He's like an unsung historian, safeguarding these sounds.
Wow. These people, and probably countless others, they're the real foundation.
They are the bedrock, the ones who kept the flame burning, often without fanfare or fortune. As our sources say, despite their deep, decades-long contributions to the music scene, these builders have yet to receive the recognition they deserve.
It's not just about fame, is it? It feels like it's about acknowledging the cultural work, the community building they did for the city, for the country, even for the global scene. Cultural justice, almost.
It absolutely feels like that. Their relentless passion built community, preserved identity, influenced generations, often quietly in the background.
Passion turned into purpose. Back in the day, if a reggae sound system wasn't spinning your record, nobody heard it. Point blank. Radio barely touched what was alive in the streets. Sound systems were the streets' radio, the record labels, the promoters, the education, the heartbeat of it. Today, it's different. Artists chase algorithms, hashtags, and SEO like a new kind of payola. Digital noise can't replicate the moment a selector pulls up your track and the crowd screams for a rewind. That's validation the internet can't fake. Recognition is harder now because the culture got diluted. Everyone wants to blow up, but few ground themselves in the roots. If you're an artist, that's your key. Engage with the sound systems. Bring your music to the selectors, the people who feel the rhythm. Not just analyze it. They'll tell you what's real. They'll tell you if your tune's fire or just smoke. We learned everything from them. We knew what was hot because they played it. We knew who was coming up because they shouted them out. They were the heartbeat. And now that pulse is fading in the mainstream noise. One or two radio shows still fight to keep it alive, but blink and you'll miss it. That's what I mean when I say people don't understand the foundation. Sound systems were never just background noise. They were the architects of the culture. No matter how digital or corporate music gets, they'll always be the reason anyone ever heard it in the first place.